Hello, it's Rich here. Bit bright in the background, but that's a good thing. That means the sun's out. We like the sun. Oh, hello sun. For those of you who don't know me, hi, I'm Rich. I'm a novice guitarist. I've been picking it up on and off for years, and I'm still not that good, but I like guitars. This is guitar number 84, which is a ridiculous number, I know. And for those who have watched some of my recent videos, and thank you if you have, you'll know that I recently bought a Les Paul, an Epiphone Les Paul Modern Figured, which I thought was a turkey, had loads of imperfections, and it's gone back. So that's good. I also had a Squier Classic Vibe in vintage blonde, but an Indonesian one recently, and I kept it for 5 days, and then I got rid of it. Because, excuse me, a bit hot. Well, it was a funny one really, because when I first got it, and if you watch the video, you'll see, I'm like, oh, the colour's lovely, and this, that, and the other. And then I realised I was disenchanted with it really, because actually the colour almost had like a pinkish kind of hue to it. It's a bit weird. And it was a bit too opaque. It wasn't really very white either. I took the pick guard off because I was going to replace it with a mint green pick guard, and there was no shielding paint under there. That was a bit disappointing. And I know these have tacky necks, but it was like super tacky. The action wasn't quite right, and I couldn't get it right, and I don't know. I just wasn't feeling it. You know, you have to gel, don't you? But I've always liked Classic Vibes Telecasters. This is my 5th one now. I've had two Chinese ones in butterscotch. I've had a Classic Vibe Custom, which had been adapted to Esquire spec. Obviously I had the Indonesian version of this, and now this is a Chinese one again. I just bought this second hand from Guitar, and I paid £300 for it, which is almost as much as a new one, really. However, I hope the camera can pick this up better. It's a vintage blonde, but it's got some proper whiteness to it. It looks like aged. Now it's a 2015, so it will be aged a little bit, I guess. But as you can see, versus the other one, it's not as streaky, it's not as see-through-y. It actually does look white. Grain's really pretty. It's just a much, much nicer finish than the Indonesian one I had. The neck on the back is nowhere near as glossy. Now, that is probably due to age, I'm guessing, 2015, because right down here on the heel, it's still a bit shinier. Oops. But it's lost some of it on the back. So that's actually a good thing from a playability point of view. The tuners, considering their age as well, are perfect. I've just had a little play with them, and they all, this one's a tiny bit looser than the rest, but otherwise they're all good. Original nut, and that's cut perfectly as well. See, nice name badge on the back, Squier Fender name badge. And then of course, one of the big things is the older ones, they get the brass saddles. The new ones are brass, but then they've been nickel plated. I mean, why would you do that? If you saw my other video, you'll see that I replaced them in the end actually with some Goto brass saddles to make them look right. So my initial impression of the Chinese made one versus the Indonesian one is that the Chinese one is just much better, and I know a lot of people say that. Now I might have been unlucky. Maybe the one I got was just a bit of a turkey, because you know it's still a budget guitar really, isn't it, at £300 odd. I think I paid £350 for the Indonesian one. They're about £350 to £370 generally. So yeah, it might have just been a bad one, and maybe this is a good one. But this is, I've literally just got this a few minutes ago. The frets are polished, and it's got Nudidarios on it. Guitar, fair play to them. They've set it up nicely. The action is, I was going to say it's a fraction higher than I'd want, but on my old Squier Bullet that I had, it was probably stupidly low. So this is set up as no buzz anywhere. So I know everybody knows what the tones are like on these, but I'm just going to go through a few tones really, just to show you, because it's nice. And the other thing that gets my full approval is the tone pot actually does do something. You'll know again if you've seen any of my other videos, sorry, that I'm a bit of a stickler for if a tone knob has actually got a use, or whether it's just like on or off. So I've just got some of the neck pickup on the clean channel with a bit of reverb and delay, but I'm just going to play a few chords and just use the tone knob so you can see that it is a functioning button. So I was taking it down by about a third. That's probably over a halfway down now. Roughly 3/4, so it's going down each time, and this is right at the bottom. So I'll pull it back up slowly. So you can hear that tone knob does adjust all the way up and all the way down. And that's the best, probably one of the best tone knobs I've had on a guitar for a while. It's definitely not just on or off. I'll do that on the bridge pickup as well, which is brighter so you can see. So, fully functioning tone knob. How good is that? Actually something you can use. So you can play it on the neck with the tone down a little bit and get a... And it actually sustains pretty well too. Better than I thought it would. Turn back up. So with a decent tone knob there, you see, look, you can just take the sharpness off the top and get a... You get a really nice tone. Back up. Down a little bit on the guitar. That's the other nice thing, and I know this is the case with a lot of guitars, but you turn the tone down on the guitar and it cleans it up a little bit, which is nice. So you can volume up on the amp instead of the guitar. Look, I'll put it back on here. That's got a decent amount of sustainy ring, 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 actually. Right, let's put the crunchy channel on for a second. That's good, isn't it? If you can hear how long it's ringing for. Right onto the bridge. That's good. I like that. And the amp's not really on that loud. And let's put it on the overdrive just for a giggle. I know it's not really an overdrive kind of guitar, I get that, but just for the heck of it. Let's just wreck it. Tone down. Oh, that's a bit better, isn't it? Tone down a bit, isn't it? crack it. So my synopsis really on this is whether or not the Indonesian one was a turkey, I don't know, but this Chinese one feels like the other Chinese ones I had previously. The colour is much better on the body. It's just much more actual vintagey blonde. You know, the other one was so streaky. Please have a look at that other video. It was like streaky. This is not. The brass saddles look great and they're already on it. So the neck on this is probably a bit worn in. So some of the gloss is off it. So it still has that feels, you know, the perception of quality. Fret ends are perfect. Yeah, it's just really good. And this is finally a keeper. I've had so many guitars recently. This is a keeper because in my little OCD world of guitar, everybody needs to have a vintage style Strat with a maple neck, ideally with a white body or a vintage coloured body. They also need the same in a Telecaster. It should be butterscotch or vintage blonde with a maple neck. And then everybody needs a Les Paul, and obviously ideally with an ebony or a rosewood board. And the body colour on a Les Paul, there's a couple of things allowed in my world. Black with gold hardware, white with gold hardware, or a tobacco or a sunburst, they're allowed. So this fits the bill perfectly for me on that score, and it's wonderful. Thanks for watching, guys. Check out some of my other videos if you want to. And I might repost the one on the Les Paul that I took down. I was just so upset I took it down. Anyway, have a good weekend. Bye-bye.